Listen, hello, wives. Happy Self-Care Saturday. First day back on the job, right? First day back on the job. And listen, I just had to come on and share this real fast. God has a way of letting you know that you are on the right path, right? God has a way of showing you that, hello, ladies. God has a way of letting you know that you are on the right path. God has a way of showing you that you are in like, the right place. Like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is where I want you to be. This is why I have you planted. This is why I have you, doing. This is the area that you are developing in. God has a way of just lining everything up to make perfect sense, right? He has a way of making it make sense for you. So this is the first day back on the job. I had came on here with y'all last night and shared that, I wasn't ready, okay? With all the things that, I had a list of things to do even over the holidays. I was just not ready to start back up, right? And so, hello. Even with that happening and me having a session this morning, it was so refreshing. It was so refreshing to be able to speak with the wife and empathize with her, understand, recognize, her blind spots, being able to call some things out, just really allowing God to show me what it is based off of what she's sharing with me. Allowing God to really show me where she is on her journey and what are the next steps for her and what is that she needs to do. I just think when God shows up like that, when the Holy Spirit moves in that way, it's like you are planted. You are exactly where you're supposed to be on this journey. Now, mind you, while I was on the session with her, while I was talking with her, I got me a email stating that, the book is ready. Come on, Jesus. I got news that the book is ready. The book is ready. Now, I do not have a date for you yet. That just means it's ready for the author, okay? So I do not have a date for you yet, but it is ready for me to look over it, make sure, everything is good so we can go on with the next steps. So I'm super excited about that. I wanted to come on just really briefly and just say these things to you, wife. Perspective is everything on this journey. I always want to highlight that me as a wife coach, I don't help every wife, right? I don't help every wife. I am called to a specific wife. That wife who knows that God has specifically told her to stay in this marriage. Even when all the arrows are falling, are pointing at her. Even when all hell is, is happening around her. Even when everything about her marriage looked like it is over, it is done, ended, completed. Everything about that marriage, she have biblical reasons to leave this marriage. Yet and still, she has something on the inside of her that's saying, but I know I'm supposed to be here. I know that God has tapped me on my shoulder and told me that I'm supposed to be here. Wives have to understand, and so many do not make it to this place. So many do not make it to this place because they're not in a position where they are, one, ready to invest, two, completely surrender to God and do things God's way, do it through his process, do it his way. And then three, they're just in this place of, I want my husband, right? They're in this place of, I just want my husband. And you have to understand, if those three things are not in proper order, and if you're not doing it according to the will of God, then you have to understand there is a possibility that this may not necessarily be for you, or it may not necessarily work out for you. So the young lady was explaining to me about, of course, like I know the holiday season is trigger, moments for a lot of the wives that I coach, especially for the wives whose husbands are not in the home, especially for the wives who are, dealing with that husband who, they're dealing with some challenges while he is even in the home. And, she was reminded of something that God had shared with her years ago, that was, I said it was a gift sent from heaven, on her behalf. And God reminded her in that moment to continue to trust in me, that I haven't forgotten you. Like I have not forgotten you. I am still working on your behalf. Don't think just because, the other person is dealing with, with your husband is still, walking a life of sin, and your husband is still doing these things. Don't think just because you're not seeing anything happening that nothing is not happening. Don't think that I have not heard your prayers. I have not seen your tears. I have not, seen the reflection of your heart. Don't think these things, because I am still God and I'm still here. And what happens is so many wives, because they have been in a place for such a long period of time, and one, possibly not doing it the right way. They have not been doing this journey the right way. And they've been here for such a long period of time. They then get to a place where this stuff ain't working. Hello, this stuff is not working. God is not doing anything on my behalf. Hello, this stuff is not working. God is not really working, on my behalf. This, maybe I thought I heard God, or maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this, or maybe I really do need to just move on with my life, or maybe I really need to do this. And listen, I'm always telling wives, you do need to move on with your life. You do need to move on with your life. God has not called you in this place for you to hold your life up. God has not called you to this place for you to just constantly be reminded of all the things that your husband is not doing. God has not called you to this place to torment you, wife. He has not called you to this place for you to be on this constant roller coaster emotional ride. He has not called you to this place to keep hurting you and to keep you in pain. He has not called you to this place for that. And so many wives, because of the excruciating pain that they do experience while dealing with something as hard like this, abandonment, adultery, addiction, mental emotional distress and agony, trauma, PTSD, all these things that wives are, dealing with in their marriages, they feel like, surely God don't want me to be, going through this. And he doesn't. And one of the things wives have to get really, really clear on in this upcoming year is knowing the difference between when God is actually developing you in something, or when it is something that you are being tormented by, by the enemy, or you are even tormenting yourself. Because so many wives think that, oh, well, I'm supposed to be this. Like, I tell wives all the time, you are called to carry your cross on this journey, right? You are called to carry your cross. But even when you carry your cross, if you go back to the, I always go back to the story of Jesus when, Jesus was carrying his cross and he was carrying it, and he got to a place where it was like really, really heavy, like on the I think it was the Passion, how people came and helped him, right? How people came and helped him. And you have to understand, God is sending people to help you carry your cross. Come on, Jesus. You don't have to do this alone. So many wives are tormenting themselves on this journey. So many wives are in this same stuck place, season after season, year after year, place after place. They're still doing the same things because they have not allowed others to come in and help them. You do not have to be tormented on this journey. A lot of wives' minds just need to simply be renewed. A lot of wives need to just simply have a conversation. A lot of wives simply need to just, get perspective on, am I doing this right? Am I missing something? Are there some blind spots that I'm not seeing? Is it something? And sometimes all that means is just simply having a conversation about what you have going on. And so one of the things I'm really big on when it comes down to, sessions and, meet with women, one of the things I'm really big on is, wives who are serious about this journey. Because if you're not serious about this journey, it is really, really hard for you to maintain it in the most healthiest way. And what I don't like doing is wasting my time with, we'll start you off. I give you a strategy. I give you some things to work on. And then you will see me and then you will jump off and you don't see me. And then 2 or 3 months later, you'll come back and then you will see me again and you'll jump off. And it's like, there's no consistency in that, right? There's no consistency in that. And because there's no consistency with that, you are constantly up on this roller coaster ride. You are constantly on this roller coaster ride. But this client, and then I just wanted to just highlight her today, because this client, I have another message. I have another meeting, y'all. This client, it has been one who has said, you know what, Karshi, I don't want to keep going backwards and forth. I've been on this journey for the last 3 years. I want to make sure that I'm doing it in the right way. And even when you have days that are like confusing and you don't understand and you don't know, and it's like that up down cycle. And then I think one of the biggest things is when you have a interaction with other people who knows you and your husband, or you have an interaction with people who know what your husband got going on, or have seen your husband do things, or you have an interaction where people are coming back and giving you information about your husband. It's like, how do you handle that, all that kind of that weight? It can be really, really hard. And so it's important, wife, if you feel like God has called you to this place, it's important that you are aligning yourself with the proper help that you need, because other than that, you're wasting your time. I'm not here to knock anybody from, the YouTube sermons and different YouTube things like that. I just always say, be mindful of what you're taking in, because that only works to a certain extent. If you are not connected with someone and actually letting someone walk with you, you can miss it big. This young lady was saying, I was literally ready to throw in the towel. I was literally ready to just kind of give in. I was literally ready to say, I don't want to do this anymore. And all she needed was a little bit of tweaking it in certain areas, just to really help her to understand where she is. And there is nothing like someone who actually have walked through this journey themselves, who can tell you exactly what you are, exactly what you are. It can tell you exactly what you're dealing with. It can tell you exactly what's going on. It can tell you exactly, what's happening. I am big on sharing my transparency in my sessions, because I want wives to understand that you are not alone. You're not to this place by yourself. And one of the things I highlighted to her, was my husband. At one point, my husband was, when he was on the outside, he was, dealing with a person. That person and him was, living in the same place. But even with that being the case, and a lot of times wives get caught up with that. Even with that being the case, I did not allow those things to stop me from doing what I know God was telling me to do. So many wives are like, well, this ain't working. Like, he's over there with her and he's doing these things and he got this going on and he been doing these things. But if God is constantly giving you instructions or is telling you to do a specific thing, that's not a time for you to say, okay, I'm going to throw in the towel and just cave in. That's not a time for you to say, okay, I'm going to just, give in to this. No, that's when you need to press in even the more with what God is saying and telling you to do. And so, wives, connect with the right source. Get with the right help. We all have a cross to carry. And sometimes you need others to help you carry your cross. You need perspective. You need understanding. Sometimes it's just a simple word, just a relatable message that you can say, oh, okay, that's it. But investing in yourself going forward in this new 2024 year, that's not a negotiable if you want to do this the most healthiest and most effective way. If you really are true to about what you're saying that you're standing for, if you are really trying to pursue God in this place, investing in yourself is a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable. It's like you cannot help but to not invest in yourself when you're dealing with something as hard as this. You should not be doing this journey alone. This lady literally was like, I'm done. I'm done. I couldn't wait to have a session, because if you didn't say something today, like literally, it was going to be a left. It was going to be out. And it's in those moments where it's like, it's not me that says the things, but I have to allow the Holy Spirit to speak through me to speak to that person, right? And so I mentioned last night about me having the clarity call for this month. I'm having another clarity call. And a lot of wives took advantage of the clarity call back in November, right? Where we had like a 2-hour call. We had a wife panel, we did some Q&A. This month, I'm offering that clarity call January the 20th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for you to get on this call and for you to ask the questions that you need to ask. A lot of wives are not in positions where they can do consultations. Okay, let's start small. And this is why I feel like the Lord has given me something like this to be able to give women an opportunity to be able to say, let me at least get some of my questions answered. Let me see if I can get some understanding. If you have not gotten the training, purchase a training, right? Purchase a training. If you have already gotten the training, you already went through the call with me, I want to just encourage you, you can come back. You can come back as a re-entry and pay the $35. You pay the $35, and if you still have questions, get your questions answered. You need to know what are your options on this journey. You need to know what it is that you need to be doing. You need to know if you are even doing this in the most effective, most healthiest way. Too many wives are trying to do this on their own. And I'm telling you, they are falling off. They are failing miserably at this. They're failing miserably at this because they think that they can only go based off of, well, it's just going to be me and God. I'm going to fast. I'm going to pray. I'm going to watch my YouTube channels. I'm going to get encouragement from that day to day. And that's it. That ain't going to be enough, y'all. I'm telling you that right now. That is not going to be enough, especially in this 2024 year. You're going to need more than just a YouTube motivational speech, from day to day. You're going to need more than a video. You're going to need to connect with someone if you're trying to get the results that God wants you to have on this journey. And that is not just about, oh, I don't have the money. I feel like that is even God pushing you and developing you in other areas. God is trying to stretch you to do more. God's trying to stretch you and to pull you in areas where it's like, it's not just about the money. God said, I need you to trust me even when it comes down to that. Because if I told you to do this and you need the resources, you got to make sure and know and understand that I'm going to provide the resources for you. But you got to be willing to sacrifice something. And that is just my biggest frustration when working with some wives, that they're not willing to stretch themselves to take that investment. Okay, you can't pay for a $300, consultation. Sign up for a $100 call. Where you can come on with other women, you can come on with other wives and be able to ask the question that you need to ask. Okay, you already took the clarity call. Get back on and do a re-entry where you can now ask questions. That is one of the most inexpensive things that you can do for yourself as you start out this new year. All right, as you start out this new year. Listen, y'all, I'm super excited about what God's going to do. I'm super excited about what God is doing. And God just reminded me today that you are exactly what I have you right here in this place for a specific time, for a specific moment as this. Do not think that your work is going in vain. Do not think that what I have you doing, it may not be the most popular thing, because when women, different ones hear about, what I do as a coach, it's like, like people don't look at that as a good thing. Do not think that what I have you doing is something that, it may not be the most popular, but what you are doing is helping, pushing people and, turning people back to me. You are changing people. You are encouraging people. You are helping people to heal on this journey. You are helping people to understand. You're giving them perspective. You're helping them to lean into me in a more in a different way. And I'm telling you, if you are not making a decision this year to invest in yourself and to get whatever you need and get to the next place, because this is not just about your marriage. I want to emphasize that part. This is not just about your marriage, wife. God did not call you here just for your husband. He called you here because he wants to develop something in you. He wants to do something in you. He wants to do a work in you. He wants to show you something about yourself. He wants to show you something about yourself. And this is so important for wives to get on board with that. So you can sign up. You can sign up for the clarity call, www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com, or you can click the link below. I'm going to, share that. And then you can go ahead and purchase a training, knowing that on the 20th of this month, we will be able to have a Zoom call. I normally, give you I'll send you a link, the morning before that we get ready and start. And you can get some of these questions that you still may have. Listen, take advantage of these inexpensive things until you are able to do the next steps. All right. Like I said, I'm not going to guarantee that I'm doing the clarity calls every month, but it is something I want to do for this month as people are starting off this new year and getting things in order. Some people just simply need a call, a strategy. They need to it's not just, I need a Bible scripture or I need to fast a certain kind of way. But you may simply just need a phone call where you can figure out what your blind spots are and what you're dealing with and what may be going on. One of the things that I just highlight in my sessions, I constantly want wives to understand not just the wife part, but I want you to also understand what your husband is going through. Because of what I dealt with a lot with my husband and the wives that I coach, I'm able to share perspective from the man's point of view. I'm able to share the perspective of the man's point of view. And I also feel like this is something that God has given me to speak to wives about. That's just one of the gifts that God has given me, where I'm able to speak and tell and help that wife to locate where your husband is, what he got going on, what he's dealing with. And so, listen, get on board. Sign up today for the clarity training. If you already have taken the clarity training, come back in for a re-entry. And the re-entry is, like I said, it's only $35. You can sign back up and get back in and come in and ask your ask questions that you need to ask. www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. Listen, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. Do something that you enjoy to do. Happy Self-Care Saturday. And I'll see you soon. Blessings.